Man, can you believe this season? It has been a hot one.
What a season.
It's been a scorcher.
Like, it's just, I can't even talk. It's just so wild.
Well, you think about it. It started off kind of mild.
Right, mild.
And then as the season progressed, it kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah, like it was crazy. Like there's a bunch of people that we saw out there today. Corey, put your phone on vibrate. Oh my god, we saw a bunch of people during the season. We traveled all over the place. It was how else could you describe it?
It got stormy.
Yeah, so there was some dark times, there were some light times. I'd say there was actually a lot of times it was dark and a lot of times that it was light. But overall, like I think the whole world witnessed it in one way or another, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's different everywhere you go. People take it differently.
Yeah.
And then we have another season coming up, and that's going to be fall, right? That comes right after summer.
Yeah, so it's summer, fall, winter, spring.
Yeah, fall is my favorite season. I agree. Indeed.
Yeah.
I always had a question, by the way. Why is it called either fall or autumn?
Fall because leaves fall from the tree.
And autumn because you
it rhymes with bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what was the show about again? What do we usually talk about?
The weather. Welcome to Maximum Weathercast.
Oh, no. I think it's drifting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sick.
Oh, welcome to Maximum Driftcast, the only show where we talk about the weather seasons.
What's that job title called?
Weatherman?
Yeah, but what's the
cosmetologist?
What's the medical term? What's the medical term for
cosmonaut?
Cosmonaut. What is it? Meteorologist.
Meter. Yeah, those are the guys that study parking meters.
Yeah, those are the guys who measure in feet, inches, millimeters, and centimeters.
Dinger
meters.
Dinger meter.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went to Irwindale. Form of the Drift Irwindale. The Form of the Drift season actually also just ended, just like summer.
It was a fourth time of the last of the rounds at Irwindale.
Yeah, wait. Let me translate for Paco. What Paco's trying to say is that these last like 3 to 4 years have all been the last time that Irwindale is supposed to run drifting, right?
Yep. The House of Drift wasn't gonna be no more.
But I'm happy that they worked it out. They worked out the deal to keep it open and keep drifting alive in the area because that track is banana bonkers.
Yep.
And the one thing that I don't know if it's just my ripe old age now or this is my 4th year there, but the smoke inhalation from tires is maybe worse now, or just I couldn't breathe like each night going back to my hotel. I was wheezing and felt like crap.
Yeah, it's the compound they put in the tires. They put tapioca in them.
That explains everything.
I think it was Jojo Hoyenga, man, Turk's car builder. He we were bullshitting about that, and he's like, yeah, you could probably look at the layers of tire debris in your lungs, like the seasons of it, like the rings around a tree. It's like, 2012, that was a rough year.
So when you die and they make an autopsy on you, they can tell like, oh, this guy has been to 1, 2, 3, 5 seasons of Formula Drift.
Absolutely right.
And what's this little spot? Oh, he even drifted a little bit on his own.
Oh, I'm trying to do that the hand slapping together. I'm not very.
So you're doing a hand snap together?
Yeah. What did you guys think of the event?
I couldn't really see much of the racing because I spent most of the time at our booth. Yeah,
so we had a booth there, kind of, but it wasn't in an ideal location. So our good buddies at AEM Intakes, we're not. So Intakes is a different branch than like the electronics and other stuff. So
yeah, AEM Induction Systems versus AEM Electronics.
Gotcha.
Originally started together. Now they're completely separate companies, and the dudes are getting heavier and heavier into the automotive import.
No way. We just started this shit.
We're about to talk about our buddies and.
Hello.
Hey,
oh my God.
Can you take the phone out of your mouth? Just kidding.
Is this Corey's Hosford?
Yeah, this is Corey Housecat speaking.
This is the house cat. What do you want? Who's this? First of all, before I even ask anything.
This is Matt Field. What up, bro?
Oh, dang! Is this 2-time Formula Drift event-winning guy, Matt Field from the stories I've heard?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
That's awesome, dude. Hey, congratulations!
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on the Gears of War sponsor.
Yeah, great job with that Xbox you got.
Yeah, I'm so pumped that I didn't have to ask for an Xbox. I just won one. Even better.
So is that what really pushed you through the final tough moments at Irwindale?
I mean, that was the inspiring moment. I was like, I guess I'm happy with second. I could give it to Guy, but I really want that Xbox.
Yeah.
Wow. But just to know that was the only thing that it took, an actual Xbox.
Speak up. You gotta speak up super loud.
So we want to talk to you because you've now won 2 events in a row. You won Irwindale. I shudder to ask the question, why did you win, Matt? But you're probably already going to tell me that because you really wanted it and because you're good at drifting, right?
Why did I win?
Yeah.
Well, because for some reason I was the best that night. That's why.
Hot damn. Well, I guess you were. I guess that's undebatable. I think probably what happened, if you recall, so for the fans that weren't paying close attention to the things that went down, after Vaughn got knocked out in 32, after Forsberg got knocked out in 16, Matt Field essentially needed to beat Osbo. I think Osbo could have gone one more round. Matt Field essentially needed to beat Osbo for Forsberg to become champion. And I went right up to that guy, Matt Field, and even though I like Osbo, I'm a Team Forsberg guy, and I said to Mr. Field, you go out there and you win this, pal. And he said, I'll do it for you.
Did you really?
Wow.
I hope that's...
I'll do it for you.
Well, thank you, Sam.
SpaghettiOs.
Yep.
Thanks, Sam. I guess it's all because of you now.
That's what I've been trying to say the whole time.
Nice.
Hey, what did...
it was all Sam, yeah.
Hey, so afterwards, Forsberg ran up to you and gave you a hug. Did he say anything to you?
It was pretty funny because I saw it as soon as I pulled up after we got the win against Oslo. I pulled back into my pit and I looked over and I saw them congratulating and I just kind of like nodded to myself, and like realized like I did that for him. Like that's pretty badass because I like Chris a lot. He's definitely one of the drivers that I've looked up to since I've started the sport. To be able to tell myself like I did that for you, not by myself, obviously.
Yeah.
He got himself there.
He did the rest of the season, but you sealed
awesome.
sealed the deal. And I imagine it was hard for him to thank you.
It was cool. Yeah, it was really awesome that as soon as he celebrated with his crew, the first thing he did was walk over. I wasn't even out of my car yet.
Kiss you on the cheek.
He took his hand in there and he just gave me a nod, and then I just said, "I told you, I got you, fam."
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, we saw it on the Jumbotron. They wouldn't let Paco or me in the event, so we got kicked out, so we watched from the parking lot. But yeah, dude, no, that was.
We were trying to give away SpaghettiOs to little kids. They don't like that. They kick you guys out for SpaghettiOs.
Paco got thrown out. Sam had to finish editing, and I went to hang out with Paco, so we watched from the parking lot. But yeah, it looked like that was kind of a cool moment for both you guys, and especially knowing the role that you had such a huge impact in that. Or if Osbo could have been like, "Hey, dude, why don't you just blow second gear and not finish it, and I'll give you $20," and you could have been like, "Oh, dude,
yeah."
You could have done some team orders there, but I know.
Orders for no team?
Yeah. Well, think about it. You could have had a Rockstar sponsorship next year. You could have had an Xbox again.
Well, if he was going to go against, I
wouldn't have got the Xbox then.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck it. Yeah, then I would have just went for it.
You would have thrown a battle against Vaughn.
The Xbox.
Let's say it was you versus Vaughn in the finals. You probably would have thrown it at the last second if he would have agreed to let you pilot a Mustang next year.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this, Sam?
I was pretending like we didn't, but but yeah, you're a man. Business means more to you than winning.
Came to me with the deal. He would have had to come with me with the deal on paper. And even then, I don't know.
Even then, you're not sure if you would throw a battle for future gain, but
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Also, yeah.
I have a theory of what happened. Why you guys won and Osbo didn't. Remember who didn't show up to our booth?
That's true. We had Forsberg come to our halftime show. We had Field come to our halftime show. We had Hohandle. But Mr. Frederick Osbo was too busy.
The Norwegian busy man.
The Norwegian busy man.
No, that's not what actually happened. To not shit on Osbo, the show ran late. The top 32 ran late, and we ran out of time. But I'm sure he would have. I'm sure he was very bummed.
Oh, yeah. No, he was. He was from talking to dudes at 8 a.m. He was like super pumped to come over there and hang out with us. But obviously things come up. And why did top 32 run so long? It was like 35, 40 minutes past schedule.
You know what? I have no idea why it ran so long. All I know is thank God it ran so long. Because if it didn't, I probably wouldn't have had the time I needed to fix my car and get out there because it literally came down to the wire after I walled my shit in practice and thrashed all of top 32. Luckily, I was one of the last battles, and we got the car done. So I have no clue why it took so long, but hell yeah. Maybe
you gave the right amount.
Thank you, everybody, for crashing and one more times or whatever it took that made the show run so long. But
maybe you gave the judges the right amount of edible arrangements, so they just delayed
the right amount.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I guess.
Maybe somebody on your behalf sent it over there.
Was your little practice crash just a little case of going too hard, or did you have mechanical failure?
No mechanical failure. Just we were trying to see what we could possibly do with the car, hooking it up with a whole lot of traction. And there's a video floating around on Facebook. And whenever I come into outer zone 2, I pull the e-brake for a quick second, put it in third gear, dump the clutch with my foot on the floor, and usually the car stays and does what I want it to do. This time, for whatever reason, as soon as I dumped the clutch in third gear, the front tires pretty much lifted off the ground and just immediately went into the wall. So we just had so much grip into the car that no matter what I did, I was just fighting it. Nope, into the wall. So we decided that we weren't going to do that again for competition.
What did you have to repair to get back in battle?
Oh my God. So I wiped out everything on the right side of the car, all the front suspension. The front cross member needed to be replaced. Right rear needed an axle, a lower control arm, a knuckle. The left side rear, because Charles hit me after I was in the wall. Sorry about that again, Charles. Now we're even. Needed a knuckle, a shank, and one other, and a traction arm. So we had to lift the motor up, suspend the motor, change the front cross member, put a whole new front suspension side on it, align the front, basically put all rear suspension back on it with an axle and align it out. And luckily, Jeff Jones and teams kind of saw us thrashing and ran over and was like, yo, you guys need some help? And I was like, absolutely. He brought his toolbox over, and I mean, if there's one guy who you can trust to just thrash on an S chassis, it's Jeff Jones.
Hell yeah.
100%. So he went to town. Him and his guy took a corner. The rest of us all took a corner. Luckily, my buddy Jeff Wolfson, an old Pro 2 driver, was in town helping Farouk, and Farouk was eliminated, so he ran over and lent a hand, and we barely got it done, but we did.
It's crazy you did all that in 5 minutes.
Kevin Lightchef, that's all I can say.
So after going through winning the event and obviously winning back-to-back, one thing that we always kind of think about is how do the sponsors, how do the other teams look at Matt Field now? Have you been getting a different response from people? Have you been getting more interest? What's been happening since the past 2 rounds have came about?
I wouldn't say that sponsors just become pouring in, waiting to write me checks, because that's just not how our world works. But it's more along the lines of, I'll talk to you soon. Let's make something happen for next year. Next year is going to be much better. All of the partners that I had there were so happy to be involved in the program and take the second win that it's just inspiring for them. I wouldn't say that new sponsors are now all of a sudden trying to just dump cash loads of money off at my house or anything like that. But I think that the door has now been opened, whereas some doors might have been closed and some outlets might have been off limits. Maybe now they're on the table and up for discussion. As far as other drivers go, I mean, I feel like a lot of drivers have just come up and are like, good shit, man. I mean, I'd do the same thing to anybody else. Good shit, man. You're killing it. Congrats. That's all. Because every other driver just wants to rip my head off and take me out just as bad as anybody else would.
Right. The other thing, talking about going back to your crash, do you keep all those spare parts? Did you have to borrow any? How many, what does your travel weight look like as far as spare parts?
I have everything, and I have 3s of everything.
Nice.
Front cross member, I only carry 1, so luckily I have that. But everything else, I basically have primary, part shop max, everything, suspension on the car. Secondary, part shop max, everything in bins. And then third, I'm sure you guys have seen the really nice display that I carry around that has pretty much the entire part shop max S chassis catalog on one rack. That's my thirds. So I'm very fortunate that I have a partner that's so invested and makes everything that I could possibly imagine that I need for crash and repair things for my car. And fortunately for Chelsea, everything that he needed too, because after he wrecked Odie's car, he was like, hey bro, where's an axle? I need an axle. And I was like, oh, it's in my trailer. I'll be there in a minute. He's like, all right, perfect. I'm already standing here. And I went back and half my rack was raped and pillaged and on Odie's car already. So fortunately for him too, we have enough stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
including the fifth option to be all of Jeff Jones's cars. So you have 5 really.
Yeah.
The parts car, Formula Drift's parts car.
I don't know if I would take anything off Jeff's car. If anything, Jeff picked stuff up on my car. That dude's got some bent rear knuckles that I gave him like 2 years ago that he's still rocking.
Yeah, we learned on last
No
week's
joke. No joke.
we learned on last week's show that Jeff doesn't really give that much of a shit about drifting.
No, or you, Sam. I heard he's a real big fan of you.
Oh, what? Are you serious? Wait, in person did he say I was a dick?
Yeah, he said you're the mega dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's all right though.
That's not the first time
That's
you
a
heard
bummer.
that, anyways.
Yeah, it's not really.
I just made that up. I don't know if he does or
really.
not.
Okay.
He says he really likes you a lot.
Well, I mean, it's fine though because everyone thinks Matt Field's a dick and he still wins. So
You can still make friends then. See, I think Matt wins for the gram. He wants to get those followers bumped up.
yeah.
So
Damn,
Just-
that's it, huh?
yep, it's easy.
So back to the sponsors falling into your lap talk. Not that, of course, that's what happened with Gears of War, but you showed up to round 7 or round 8 now at Irwindale with this large door sponsor that you're just doing for one round. And in our little discussion, you had said that had kind of not fallen into your lap necessarily, but that opportunity presented itself to you right after Texas, right?
Yeah. I definitely think that winning Texas had a lot to do with it. If I didn't win, I don't know that the deal would not have happened, but I know that kind of proving that we're serious players in the game kept us on the top of people's minds when the time for choosing what drivers they wanted to work with was here. Basically, the ID agency has been working this deal through Formula Drift and through Xbox to get some advertisement on the table. They've been trying for a while, and finally Xbox kind of agreed to it because it was just a perfect time that the game was launching today, actually, the 11th, and Irwindale was over the weekend, so that's why there was like some Gears of War giveaway stuff. There was the contingency program, there was a commercial, there were some flyers, and it just worked out that they decided, hey, we want a driver and we want a car. And when the talks came of who can make this happen, it wasn't only like, oh, who has the most followers or who won the last round or who's the best driver. It was like, who can make this happen for us? And for me, fortunately, go ahead.
They tried to approach Corey, and Corey's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy for this. So
Yeah.
they just went with
Yeah.
Matt.
No, actually, no.
I got to push my car there.
Yeah, the funny thing is like, thing about them trying to approach Forsberg or Vaughn, they can't replace a NOS or a Monster sticker. And you look at some of the guys that do have the bigger primary stuff, and you get somewhere to like your level, Matt, where you have a bunch of good sponsors, but you don't have that solid primary on the door $200,000 sponsor. You have more freedom in that sense than most.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why.
And
I think that's not. But like I said, it's not the only reason why. But it helps that when they called me and they said, "Can you do this?" I am able to personally say, being the person who's responsible for my car, responsible for my program, yes, I will do this. I will make this happen. Instead of going through somebody's manager, going through this company, through that. Sometimes that driver might have not even known that the deal was on the table. But I got the call. I said yes. We made it happen.
And we're saying that it'd be cool if hopefully they want to carry on because we always really like seeing new sponsors in the sport. But Turk kind of paved the way this season for doing different liveries for multiple events. It wasn't every different event, different livery, but he did it like 3 or 4 times. And we were saying that it'd be cool if Microsoft, the game developer, had a game every month-ish that they wanted to do, and then they covered the livery of their car featuring that game. Yeah, it's fun to see. I'm really happy to see. And I think Matt Field is, of all the people we've talked to, the one that's maybe branched out and succeeded the most in the new sponsor game between your casino and now Xbox.
Yeah, we've definitely had some out there ones, that's for sure. But sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you work for them, and I think that even this year we changed the livery up 3 times, but that was just because Ian of Factory 83 was like, "Yo, your car is haggard. We might as well change it now." And then, fortunately, even though the car was still halfway decent, he was able to design the new livery for the Gears of War thing too. So, pretty damn badass.
That's
it's
pretty
good
cool.
to be able to, give back to the same people who invested in me and then get them involved with the program when the program starts moving up as well.
It was tough to tell you and Juha apart from a distance, though.
As funny as that is, it's so true.
It was very true.
It's very true. I know. I thought the same thing, but you know what? It don't even matter.
Yeah, we thought Juha won for a second. What's that, Sam?
I was gonna say let's talk about your battles in Irwindale.
Oh, there you go. Let's talk about your battles.
Let's talk about your battles. How do you?
Butthole.
Bowels.
What was your
Bowels?
hardest? What was your hardest fought battle of the night?
Without a doubt, it was the Frederick battle.
Nice.
One between the pressure, and two because I've never beat him before. I mean,
oh God, it's huge. That's awesome.
I think the record was like 5-0 or something.
Wow.
That's the first time I've ever beat him, so it couldn't have been at a better time. That was without a doubt the hardest one.
Yeah. So you qualified higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you led first.
We led first.
And then he did the classic Forsberg move from 2014, or is that 2015? I don't know. The run into him in the last 10% of the track and knock yourself out. and Osbo, around the last inner clip, he hit you. Did you spin, or did it just knock
straighten him out? It straightened him out.
Yeah, straightened me. He hit me once in the door, and that kind of like threw me to a bunch of angle. So I just threw as much angle into the front, into the steering wheel as possible, backed off the gas a little bit, not like all the way off, and then he hit me again in the front wheels, and then that's what snapped me straight completely. I tried to keep going, I did, but he literally like pushed me straight.
So I was sitting on the wall next to Forsberg and Gooden and Turk and a bunch of other media dudes, and
basically all
the
your
Cool
Drift
Kids
Alliance
Club?
brother.
Were
No,
you
it's.
sitting in the Cool Kids Club.
Are you Drift Alliance yet?
No, I was just gonna say, you're new best friends because you won this battle. But initially, don't know if you heard this on the mics, but we initially heard from the judges that this was deemed a no fault situation, and the people that really cared about this battle, I don't give a fuck. They were losing their shit. 'Cause like, no, Osbo clearly hit him. There is someone at fault in this accident. It's not like a double elimination accident. Like, but then
yeah, what would that even mean? A no fault situation?
As in,
well, clearly there was. That means I just get a 0 for driving straight. And
I guess
a 0 for driving straight too. What does that even
Yeah, well,
mean?
maybe they look at it as if it could have been a recoverable contact, where he may have hit you, but not hard enough to cause the correction that you did. I don't know. That could potentially be it.
I mean, they're saying that a no fault. I think another situation that actually could be real. It's very rare, but let's say you were spinning on your own, and then Osbo was spinning on his own, like 10 feet back, like you were both fucking. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Either way, the judges were talking about that, and then I guess after deliberation, they did in fact change it to fault Osbo, and then all you had to do was
in that case.
Yeah.
I think in that case, they want to do that to build suspense for the championship and the show. If they just say, oh, Osbo screwed up, there we go, all Matt has to do is complete a run behind him, then it's kind of like a simple thing, like there's no suspense or anything. But if they talk about what could be, and now it's in the judges' hands, and they have a serious play, and then it builds up. It's the same kind of thing that happened at the end of the event in Texas.
Yeah.
Right.
Forsberg clearly hit me, and the judges had already walked away, but Ryan's still talking about, well, they don't know. They're looking at it. They're playing the replay, and on the live stream they played the replay, but they had made the decision long before that.
So, and then you didn't need to lay down a baller-ass follow run, and then Forsberg is sitting there, and he's just saying, don't spin, Matt. Don't spin. Like, don't hit the wall. Don't spin. Because he knew that all you had to...
God.
He knew that you needed to... You couldn't be inactive chase. You couldn't be 10 car lengths back, but you just pretty much needed to be a couple car lengths and not hit him or spin. And you didn't just do that. You did, like, an aggressive follow that would have probably won you the battle, regardless if Osbo wouldn't have hit you. At least in my opinion, from where I was.
I just wanted to make sure that he knew.
Yes.
Now you know. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So hey, you did bring up the pressure? What type of pressure were you feeling? Did you have pressure of just, man, I want to advance, or was it the thought of Forsberg as well? Like, what was the overall difference in pressure?
I will say that before I'm in the car, I do have a little bit in the back of my mind about what's going on with Forsberg and stuff. But that's just because I'm a human being and he's a decent friend, and I like him. I want him to win. So that's a little bit of pressure. Once I'm in the car, that shit doesn't matter. Who cares about him? I'm here for myself.
Because let's say you were going up against Forsberg right there, you'd have been like, you know what, Forsberg's a nice guy. I want him to win. I'm going to lose.
Yep, I want to spin out. I want to back it in the wall.
I would have split his throat just as easy. No questions asked. Slice him right in the throat.
One of the other possibilities over the weekend was that Vaughn goes to 16 and beats Forsberg in 16, And then Vaughn would have had to win the entire event to win the championship, and he would have then seen Matt Field in the finals. And can you imagine Matt Field crushing Vaughn? The last second from and I asked Matt Field, I was like, "Are you excited? Like, would you do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm gonna destroy Vaughn." I don't know if you said those words, but
I think one of the things you mentioned on a previous episode with us that we were talking about it earlier at the track when you said that you wouldn't get out of bed. How was that again?
He wouldn't get out of bed if he didn't think he was going to win the event.
Oh, thanks, Matt Field.
You wouldn't get out of bed if you didn't know he's going to choke the chicken.
I want to hear it from Matt Field.
Quiet down. You're blowing up the microphone. I'm just saying that, Paco, what you can do then is that's called feeding someone a line. And if you already knew the line, you could have just said like, "Hey, you say this one time,
Paco.
right?"
You ate the line.
I guess.
Jesus.
You ate the line. You didn't feed it.
Jesus.
You just ate it.
Go back to Guatemala.
Wow.
Paco.
Can you say it again, please, Matt?
Paco wants you to say it.
If I didn't think I was gonna win, I wouldn't have gotten out of bed.
Exactly. And I think that's gotta become like a staple for you from now on.
Well, that's already his staple, Paco. That's the point of it. The saying. That's why he has that saying, Paco.
Perfect. I'm making a remark.
That Formula Dirt picture. That's why there's a picture on Dirt. It's already a thing.
What is?
What?
The thing with the winning, the thing. We're just talking about.
No, I haven't seen that.
What is it? Are you pulling up?
You haven't seen the derp? It's on the derp.
Hold on. Sam is pulling up the derp right now.
But it's easy for me to do because
Sam's just logging in. Sam's just logging in right now.
Doing a quick log.
Let's see.
Man, J-Rod was ruthless about the derp over at the work banquet. He was angry for a second.
Really?
I didn't go to banquet.
Yeah, we missed the banquet. What happened?
No one did? Oh, yeah. Oh, he just said something. He's like, blah, 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 Formula Derp. Jimison, you, I know it's you. I hate you, Derp. Like, he was upset for a second. But, just J-Rod upset and really not.
Yeah.
Probably didn't care at all. But
well, they picked on Jared almost more than anyone. But also, so the dude Jamison, the dude Jamison that everyone is pretty sure that it is. I've never met him in real life. And then we actually ended up going in an elevator ride together up to the top of the bleachers.
Awkward elevator
Yeah,
ride?
because I'm sure that he knows that I probably know that he's Derp, and he knows me because Derp has talked to me, and I guess I don't think we've had issues or whatever the fuck, but I've made my point.
You guys had some Instagram wars before.
On this show, I've said that Derp can go fuck himself after the Wangberg gate in New Jersey, but
then you guys became best friends.
Now we're okay.
Ooh, and then now you talked it out. The funny thing for me is I don't know like 100% who it is, and I don't want to know. It's better that I don't.
Yeah, I kind of felt.
I'm like 50% on anybody who has been on the top of the list, and I don't really give a shit. It's better that I don't know.
Yeah, well now
it's a mystical creature right there.
Now that they're being not as much of a rabble rouser, if I'm going to sound like an 80-year-old, if they're not inciting the masses into riots and bullshit over nothing, then yeah, a little poking fun here and there never hurt no one except for Jared's feelings.
No, exactly. Yeah, he was upset.
And no one cares about Jared's feelings.
So we know that you're on a time crunch. You got to head out to do some actual work. Can you give us an idea on what you have planned for the off season and next year in about a 3-minute explanation?
All right. The off season isn't going to really start until the end of the year for me.
You gonna take a vacay?
I have D1. I don't know, probably not, but I have D1 during SEMA when everyone's at SEMA. I'm not going to be at SEMA.
That's how you never have sponsors.
You'll never have sponsors again.
No kidding. No, I've been going to SEMA every year since I started drifting, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Really, it does not help.
But
from now on, party your ass off. That's all.
From now on, you're not gonna be going to SEMA anymore. You're gonna be going to video game conventions and stuff like that.
Way cooler.
Yep. You gotta get your sponsors over there.
I'm gonna be in China for D1, driving one of Daigo's chasers, and then I have the next round, which is the last round. So there's during SEMA, it's rounds 3 and 4 because they're double headers, and then in December I have 5 and 6, and that's kind of when everything will mellow out. They were also talking to me about the possibility of bringing my car over to compete in the last round. Falcon China really is pumped on me and what I have going on, and the fact that there's an American driver driving in China. So that's a possibility.
Nice.
So at that point, then maybe the off season will start then. If I continue to drive my car, I definitely need to send the motor out to CBM to rebuild. I'll send the trans and the diff out to Rick at RTS and let him rebuild that. Have a couple things that I want to work on with my fuel system, and obviously all new Part Shop Max stuff on everything all around the car, just because it has been hammered and hammered and hammered again. And then hopefully line up some really cool stuff with Xbox. I mean, that would be the absolute goal.
What year?
If not, I'm always. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'll get you afterwards.
I was going to say, if not, I would love to drive for somebody else, but I've kind of told myself this since day one when I started Formula Drift, that there's no way in hell I would ever drive for a team that can't produce a car that's substantially better than what I have. And right now, that's a little bit hard to do, so I feel like I can be a little bit picky.
Well, you don't think that Vaughn's car was very good this year?
No, I think it was awesome. What are you talking about?
Well, you just said that you don't think that a car manufacturer or a car team could produce a car that's substantially better than yours.
You also look at the two options that you have. You
No,
have Tyler.
Not that they couldn't, but I would only drive for somebody that could. I think that Vaughn, completely capable. Forsberg, completely capable. Papadakis, realistically, the top three guys.
Yeah, those are the only three guys really to look at it next to Tyler with Pat Mordaunt and the Z.
You should get on Chelsea's team. I hear he's got a good motor program.
Well, you have a couple different cars to choose from, too. you have 4 borrowed cars you can run throughout the season.
You can drive a BMW. You can drive an S14. You can drive an S14 that's owned by Audi. He's got a very mixed team.
He has a plethora of vehicles.
And even if you get lucky, even the Retax S13 hatch
maybe
might come back from...
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever thought of moving into that car?
No. God, no. Jesus. That thing is a whore, for fuck's sake.
It's a town bicycle.
But she's
a town bike.
She's made a lot of people happy. Why don't you think of it like that instead of slut-shaming, Paco?
She saved a lot of people's dreams, that's for sure.
Do you know what you should do is actually get a Turk racing suit and helmet and go back to the S13 and do a throwback of pretending you're Turk and just totally suck and crash a car all the time, and everybody thinks you're Turk.
Wow.
Turk, which year? This year?
Yeah, do it for next year. Do you want to? Yeah. Okay, you got 2 more minutes left
just
here.
A few questions.
We have actually a ton of fan questions.
We're gonna do a power hour.
We're just gonna go super fast.
I was reading them on Instagram.
Oh, you're really
dying on some of them.
You see anyone you like?
No. We're just gonna
fire it off.
Power session it.
All right, let's see here. Who has the first one, Sam or Paco?
I'm loading.
Let's see.
Matt Field. I just saw one that says Matt Field, I love you. Who are you saying I love you to?
This says for Matt Field from 94 Hell Yeah. Why are you such a sexy beast? Took you a minute.
All right. How do you even answer that?
Why?
Move on.
Okay.
Why not?
A piece of bacon says, Matt Field, what's your favorite game on Xbox and why is it not Gears of War 4?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't even know, so it's definitely Gears of War because I played it last night.
Yeah.
So 3 a.m, and that's the first video game that I've played in like 10 years. So that's my favorite, and I love it.
Nerd.
And I'll play other things, but till then, I have no answer.
Nerd.
All right. Well, next question from Ryan Enjoys Bikes. Does drifting gets you laid?
Did he actually have the bad...
Hold
on. We got to pause for a second. Did he actually have bad grammar like that? Or is that Paco interpreting it?
Does drifting get you laid?
Thank you. Paco, so we just proved conclusively that Paco can speak perfect English, but he chooses to say bad grammar. Correct, Paco?
He chooses.
Yes or no?
I'm sick right now. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, he'll give you the bad case.
I'll sneeze in your mouth.
Like shit.
Yeah, dude, I look like shit and I feel like crap. Yep.
You're lucky I can't see you.
Oh man. Yeah, you're missing shit.
S14 FC says, ask Matt why he hasn't uploaded any more footwork videos. Forgot to ask him this at Irwindale. LOL.
Yeah, but he didn't answer if drifting gets him laid or not.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah, that was an absolutely yes.
Yeah. Matt's covered arm deep in boys. Go on.
We got one from your buddy, Jeff Jones, the spare parts car. Which other Formula Drift car would you want to hop in, either for fun or you think would be competitive?
Thanks, Jeff Jones. Good question.
Way to skip my
I know. I read that question. Good job, Jeff. I want to drive Dirk Corvette. really, really bad.
Wow, Pro 2 driver
I think
Dirk
that's-
Stratton's.
He moved on to pro
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Dirk
Pro 1.
Stratton's vet. I do.
Nice.
All
Pro
right,
1 now, son.
can you go back to the question that I asked before we ignore S14 FC completely? Why haven't you uploaded any more footwork
Oh, the
videos?
footwork video.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
I thought
I'm
Matt
not
left that one
completely
off.
sure. I guess I will.
He
No,
will,
I just
because of you.
haven't gotten to it. Because you know why? Because I'm not the person who's in charge of the footage. So the Go Big projects who get the footage all goes towards the TV show, and I have to completely beg them for any kind of footage, and it's a total nightmare. But when they do make something, it's badass. They just so happens that they pulled the footwork video in Atlanta, and it was interesting. So maybe we'll see some more. Maybe I just have boring feet since then.
Yeah.
Well,
Sweet.
I have a question from Beaver's Layer 6969, and he's asking if your footwork is as good on inside the car as it is on the dance floor.
On the dance floor. Absolutely. DM me.
You're a dancer, huh?
DM you? So,
No, I'm just
so if
kidding.
someone DMs you, you're gonna.
I look like an idiot. I look like look like a complete idiot when I
To-
dance. What are you talking about? I'm white.
Total white boy.
Yeah, completely.
So Stay Foul
Completely.
has a realish question since being on Maximum Driftcast back in March and talking about trying to land new sponsors, then to be finishing this season back-to-back wins, is there a chance we could see you coming back in 2017 with more money, more support, and more track sluts? Also, congratulations, motherfucker. It was awesome to see.
Nice, Sam.
That's the question. That was my favorite right there. That was my favorite question.
Yeah.
To start it off. I sure as hell hope so. Every year for me has gotten a little bit better. We've definitely had some ups and downs with as far as the cash inflow, but it seems like there's much promise that it's going to be better next year. That's for sure. All our partners are very, very happy with us, so just got to continue to push it harder. As far as drifting getting laid, hell yes. And what was the last part?
The last part is congratulations, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, right there. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you even responded to him already 35 minutes ago at Stay Foul. I love you.
Yep.
So what do you
Hell
think?
yeah, boys.
Well, thank you for your time. We understand that now that you're just so busy with propositions from women and sponsors that you don't have enough time for our
playing Gears of War.
our
online.
lowly show. But thanks for taking a half an hour out of your very busy sex life to talk to us.
Yeah, last question for me. S14 next year, is that pretty for sure you're going to be in S14 next year?
Unless I'm driving something else for.
Hello?
Unless he's driving
And
something.
what's the odds of that, you think? Are you working on something?
Everything, yeah, I have been working on something, but everything's 50-50 until you're actually sitting in
Yep.
that driver's seat, right?
So
everything's unicorns and rainbows until it's
right.
true.
So potentially S14, but you're working on something else that can get you out of it. Awesome, man. Thank you for
Yep.
your time.
I
And
love the S14. I have no reason to get out of it unless it's a far superior car or a paycheck.
unless this thing you're working on goes through. Awesome. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see you later there, big
It
dog.
sounds like you know something, Corey. We'll talk about it after Matt's gone.
Yeah, we'll hang up and we'll talk about it.
Awesome.
I won't spill
Later,
the beans,
nerd.
Matt. Later,
Thanks for
nerd.
the time, bro.
Bye.
I'm sure you will.
All right, so Corey actually told me right before we called Matt Field that what he's going to do is he's going to do a Hayabusa-powered smart car. You know the little two-seaters?
Yep.
So what he's going to do is he's going to put a Hayabusa motorcycle, was that 1300, 1600? What was that? Paco?
Hayabusa is 1300.
Yeah, so 1300 little motorcycle motor in the back of a smart car because he figures that if you can't see him, you can't hit him, right?
He's probably going also for the power to weight ratio. Put all the power, all the ratio, all the weight and everything on the back.
All the ratio.
So the car's pretty much just going to be doing wheelies while drifting.
I'm curious, Corey, stop texting for a second. What what?
Uh-oh.
This is not good.
Oh, can we,
No.
can we not talk about
I
the show?
don't get this.
All right, well.
So Corey's upset about some news on this phone that
One second.
revolving around the internet or whatever. But anyways, so focus on that later.
I actually might have to split away for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, bye, Corey.
I'll be right back.
All right, so we'll figure out what I know what you said, so I'll say what I have to for Corey. I can speak through him, like I just said. The Hayabusa-powered two-seater is going to be the staple of Matt Field's program next year. The only issue is there's not a lot of room for livery, so he's going to put a lot of wings on it.
I think instead of being sponsored by Gears of War, it's just gonna be sponsored by Nintendo Wii or something like something small.
Yeah, something very small.
Tiny
Game Boy.
or like
probably.
Pokemon Go, just fit right on the door.
I think that they are probably drying up on their money zone. But what did you?
I think we should do something different for once.
Like what?
Instead of just receiving a random call.
What was that? What was that noise?
There's something going on our headphones. I don't know if the audience heard that.
That was called a voice crack. Your voice crackled, Paco.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was my. It hurt. Anyways, I don't know if you guys notice I'm pretty sick. I'm trying to keep my distance from these guys.
Yeah, so if you're wearing headphones, just like kind of wipe them off every now and then, sanitize them so you don't get whatever Paco
have the
has.
throat aids.
All right, so let's do this. Well, you got a special.
Yeah, I was
segment.
suggesting like instead of receiving a random phone call from people, why don't we actually call somebody
Like
this
who?
time? I don't know, maybe somebody who did an accomplishment, like something big this weekend.
I don't think anyone did. So we already talked to Matt Field. He's the only one that mattered.
He's the only one that cares, right?
Instead of that, can we speculate what Corey's upset about from the internet?
I think what happened is that he saw that his favorite TV show is not going to be renewed for the next season.
Which show is that? Was that?
I think it's what's a Bobby Flay? No, what's the name of the
Iron Chef?
The other.
Beat Bobby Flay.
No, the guy with the spike hair.
Oh, the Triple D. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Divers.
Yeah.
Scuba divers.
Oh, you've been on that one, right?
Yeah, I've actually been on that show. Not a big deal, guys. I would say that Corey got upset because he lost one Instagram follower, and right now he's going outside to call that guy.
Oh, yeah.
So
he gets it very personal when somebody unfollows him.
Just don't unfollow Corey, guys. Let's talk about the event a little bit. So,
okay,
you didn't watch a lot of it though because you were in the AM booth doing our stuff, right?
Yeah, working on getting all the wiring done and all the booth set up
for our live show that we did to actually a pretty sizable audience.
It was pretty good, man.
And then AM Intakes also did a live Facebook thing that I think got pretty big. And we are going to be releasing with this show at the same time ish the recorded portion of what we could from there, which unfortunately is not the best quality because it was like through PA and
GoPro
crazy
video.
And yeah, but we want to at least give you guys the opportunity to check it out if you wish. So we will be doing that.
Yeah, there's gonna be just some bonus material for the hardcore fans.
Hardcore. So I didn't get to watch all of Top 32, but was that 32 or 16?
I thought after Top 32 you were like release of any duties.
Well, after Vaughn went out. No, I still had to then record some talk from him about the season. I still have to shoot Forsberg and Turek.
Ooh.
But I did see, was that in 32 where Gucci spun and Mad Mike hit him and hit the wall?
Yeah. That I think it was sub 16.
Was that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Let's pull up a phone. Let's pull up the schedule, but let's.
But I saw the video. It wasn't as gnarly, I guess. Like it wasn't a big hit, but it just looked so big. Like parts flying everywhere. Like
yeah, it just sucks though because
and
Mad Mike seemed to be driving pretty well. And then from what I understand, they
didn't allow him back in the track.
Yeah,
when he went to fix his car.
You don't have unlimited time to fix your car. He wasn't deemed at fault. So you get more than 5 minutes, but it's still not like...
Yeah, not unlimited.
Yeah, you still...
So when he came back, I think he had a little bit of a coolant leak.
Really?
From what I heard. And they didn't allow him back on track, and he became Angry Mike.
He got that... Well, I mean, yeah, I would
the real
too.
Angry Mike.
So he got he was considered winning that battle. I think he came out for the top 16 ceremonies, but I don't...
Yeah, he's just like...
Wait, yeah, that sucks. Though.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I couldn't watch it. I was pretty busy.
It was too sad for you.
I was more sad about Vaughn. I was like, like I don't know. I would imagine. Oh yeah, he's got it. You saw what happened. What happened to Vaughn?
Well, I did see what happened. I was there. He went up against Pat Mordaunt, and we talked to Pat on the show earlier this season. And Pat kind of has a reputation as a giant slayer, which he has upheld. He's now beat Forsberg. If only Forsberg was here to tell us how many times he's been beaten by him. But he's been beaten by Mordaunt a couple times. I don't know about Vaughn and Mordaunt history, but Mordaunt decided to throw down during Vaughn and Pat's top 32 battle, and they had 2 one more times. The first battle after it went down, after hyping up Vaughn and after making all these propaganda videos, crapping on other drivers, all in good fun,
Yeah.
But we still made these videos saying how far we're gonna. Yeah, the come and ride the train, choo-choo right.
Choo
Woo-woo.
choo.
I'd hoped he'd go the full run, and then after the first battle with Mordaunt, watching it, I was like, holy shit, we might have just lost. It was to that point where I was not sure it was going to be one more time. At the very maximum, I thought it was going to be one more time.
Yeah.
At the very worst, I thought like, man, we just lost. And thankfully, it was one more time. And then the next battle, I felt good at the end. I gave favor to Vaughn. I assumed that his follow was better than Pat's, and I thought that we had it. And it was 2 judges saying one more time, and I think Ryan Lantagne saying Vaughn. And then in the third battle, these cars are just being ripped on, of course, very hard, and there's only a minute or 2 between each battle, each round after one more time. And Vaughn went back out there
Because it was almost at the end of top 32, right?
It was actually right in the middle.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But by the third one more time, like your nerves are shot, your car has been beat pretty hard, and for whatever reason, a very inexpensive suspension component decided to break on Vaughn on the bank.
Wow.
And went to the wall, and then I think he said it was like a $20 little coupler. I think
he should have bought the $40 one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that broke, and he was out just like that.
Yeah.
And that was a big bummer. But he's a good sport, and he didn't seem overly depressed. He probably went back to the hotel and cried, if I had to guess, at the end of the night. But at least while at the track, he was all smiles and happy, and he knows the score, and you can't beat yourself up for stuff you can't control.
Well, actually, we gave him a trophy.
Oh, yeah?
We gave him a maximum Driftcast trophy for best way of losing top 32.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty pumped about it.
Nice.
Feel free to check it on our bonus footage that we will release after the video, after this episode.
On the DVD.
On the DVD. Just flip the DVD upside down. That's where all the bonus content is in.
I wish we could do that.
Eventually.
All right, let's look at some more battles. So Dai qualified first and made it to the finals, which Dai's car finally worked. He showed up. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but it decided to all come together for Dai.
He seemed like he's been having engine problems.
For multiple seasons.
And this time everything worked right, and I saw him at the end of the day, and he was like super humble and super happy.
Of course. Well, Irwindale brings out the best in people, I feel. Like Dai's won Irwindale. He won his championship, I think, through battling at Irwindale. So he's no stranger to the track. He's probably been there.
But I think it's been a while since last time he got a podium.
Yeah, really, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other.
I'm not. If I'm not mistaken, I think his last podium was when he came back from being a champion on the new car. He started Long Beach.
Yeah, with a podium.
And I think after that, everything just went down.
Yeah.
So it's been like 3 or 4 years. No, 3 years, I think.
Damn.
So
okay.
I'm glad to see him back, and I hope next year he just comes strong.
Yeah, because we know he has the driving ability. Obviously, he's a champion.
A champion.
Paco's referencing the 80s Crystal
Video?
Light dance competition video.
The champions.
The champions. And then we had, what are some of the good battles? Stonebeck beat Rob the Bob, Essa and Blues. Blues was driving, so I was hanging out with Donut Media, James Kirkham, and we were watching Blues drive against Juha, and he looked at me. He's like, "Blues is going to win this thing," because Blues was driving like a maniac. I think he had the best follows of the entire weekend. If we could give the best follow award, I'd say it'd be Blues, because he was just driving like your man Nakamura that everyone was excited about at Super Dinger. But Blues was driving crazy, and I didn't watch the Blues Renneton battle with like a real discerning eye, but I felt like Blues won it.
But they gave it to Juha.
Yeah.
From what I heard, Juha kind of like came out of nowhere, and they gave him an RKO.
What's that mean?
Have you seen? It's like that meme with the WWE whatever. Out of nowhere, RKO.
No, I don't know what that is.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sick to try to rephrase that. But anyways, it seems like didn't Juha ended up in the top 4?
No, he lost Dai in top 8.
Okay. It's still pretty good. I mean, I think
No,
it's his best performance.
Yeah, I think so too. Then Forsberg had to go up against Farouk. That's tough for Farouk any time to go against Forsberg. And I think he was dealing with car problems all weekend. But we talked to him on the show recently. He's a really good guy. Don't think he's a shitty driver.
I just think he needs a better car.
Yeah, well, he needs a better car. He needs more money. He needs more time. Like what most of these guys need.
Yeah, and he kept his license. So from
How does
what I've
it-
heard, he's going to come back next year with a way, way better car.
How does it work with keeping your license?
As far as I know, everybody on top 32 and up keeps their license, and 33 and down, they don't go down to Pro 2.
And then all the Pro 2 guys that got their license, they can now run in
8.
Pro 1.
8 people, eight drivers from Pro 2 go up to Pro 1.
So assuming that everyone stays and every Pro 2 driver goes Pro 1, we're going to have 40 cars in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
That's not that bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not 60 something.
No, 40 is good. I think
Yeah,
that
it's a good
creates
number.
some healthy competition between the lower down guys too.
Yeah.
Try harder. And then we got we have Gittin versus Mordaunt. We know how that went. Pollock versus Honadell. I did not get to see because I was too busy, shocked. And
And that was
changing
top
bond stuff.
32, right?
Yeah, and then Honadell. We talked to him a little bit in our booth.
Mm-hmm.
He lost due to being down a cylinder and
Yeah, I was running on 7 cylinders, and I think he ran out of hairspray.
he ran out of hairspray. He was looking everywhere before the match, and he was frazzled. His hair was frazzled, and
It was humid. It was a humidity, it just ruins it. So
and no amount of burpees or jump squats could get him back in the zone after
at
that.
that point, you're done.
Then we had Helburn versus Kyle the Man, Mo Man.
How that went?
I don't know. I don't know how that went, Paco. I wasn't there.
What about it? Who won?
Oh, Helburn.
Okay. So that's the other thing. So Farouk was on top of Helburn with 1 point.
Yeah.
And after this,
Helburn got Rookie of the Year, which Farouk
Yeah.
on our show even said that he deserves it more than Farouk.
yeah,
Farouk
yeah,
himself
absolutely.
said that Helburn has been a better driver and drove better, but because Helburn didn't go to Canada, Farouk did.
Yeah.
And as a result, he was higher up. But he said that he thought that Helburn drove better,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, but I mean that just shows like how nice Farouk is. Just a good sport, Like he's not like the shit talker kind of guy.
And then here's the saddest story of the weekend, aside from Vaughn losing, in my opinion. Ryan Turk, he went up against the dreaded Byron.
Man, so Byron had the most amazing race.
Yeah.
He made it to top 4.
Yep. So Byron was up against Ryan
On
Turk in
fire.
top 32, and that's only because Ryan Turk qualified second. He drove a sweet qualifying lap.
Yep.
And then in top 16, Turk went up against Angry Michael, which we just talked about. He wasn't allowed back on the track. So Turk went up against Byron, took
Again.
Whittett's place. And then it was Turk versus McQuarrie.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
didn't-
obviously Turk won.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either.
So I can't say.
But I know that he won.
And then Turk versus Fields. And I don't know what happened to his car to break it in the first place, but I was right next to it when he ran
Turk-
out of time.
That's Turk versus Field and top 4.
Yep. So I was right there at the car as they...
And it was Osbo versus Byron.
Osbo? Osbo was taken out by Field.
Sorry, not Osbo. My bad.
Field versus Byron.
Field versus Byron?
Yeah, because Byron took Byron took Turk's place.
Oh, got it. Yes. There you go.
So but I don't know what happened to Turk's
It's just
car.
weird, man. It was, I don't know, man. Like, he turked it probably.
Yeah, but they thought whatever they had to fix, I saw them fix it with time to spare in the 5 minutes, but the car wouldn't start.
Oh.
So I guess they didn't truly fix it. But that was tragic to see because I feel like that happened.
It
in
would have been a good
Irwindale-
battle, I
Well, that
guess.
happened in Irwindale
Yeah.
last year. I remember seeing
yeah.
Turk's car lose the 5 minutes. It ran out of time, and that was where.
And it also happened to him at Long Beach this year, didn't it? Like
Yep.
when he ran out of time trying to replace a differential.
Which, yeah, I don't want to say it's. I feel like his car is not that unreliable, but I think Turk stuff and he breaks shit.
I think
and-
he likes breaking shit. He runs things too hard.
So going back to the 32s, Gucci versus Whittett, we covered that. Gucci spun. Gucci was having, in Gucci's defense, Gucci was driving very well, but I heard that he was having steering rack issues all weekend. And he put it into the wall in practice pretty hard that morning.
Oh.
So,
yeah, that's right.
And they got the car back up, and his first run against Mike looked pretty solid, I think. And then whether due to steering, whether due to driver error, he spun. Would it hit him? Would it hit the wall? We had the McCorman versus Cameron Moore. I did not see. I wish Colby was here. He saw all these.
Yeah.
Colby is actually now in the swimming pool.
Yeah, he's just like, you know what? I quit.
He quit the show.
He might come back tomorrow.
You know what? You shouldn't have unfollowed him on Instagram because he's super, super upset now.
I'll follow him back.
Charlie Ng versus Johnny Cast. Johnny got knocked
Cash?
out. Yep. Johnny the Cast. He got knocked out by
At the Ring of
Charles Ng.
Fire.
Charles Ng actually qualified 10th, which after I think having
Like a whole season of being nowhere,
Yeah.
he suddenly kind of like
I don't know if he,
shining
I don't know
a
if he
little
did the
bit.
whole season at nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he couldn't like.
He wasn't a
barely see
competitor.
him, didn't qualify many times, I think. And I think he ended up like in very low points by the end of it.
Yeah, I think he had car issues and whatnot throughout
Yeah.
the year. But
Well,
someone we want to
they
talk
had
to
that
eventually.
VQ engine, the
Turbo
350
VQ.
the 350Z engine, the VQ35, which apparently they're not that good or something. I think that two guys have that engine and they just haven't been able to run properly.
Yeah, I think it just needs development probably.
Yeah.
So then we had Forrest, who qualified third against Byron. So why was Forrest in his S14 and not the S15?
Apparently there was something wrong with his engine after like long season. Something happened to. I think Alec mentioned something about his engine. There's some problems
But that confuses me why he wouldn't just take an engine and put it in his S15.
because he already had the S14, which he knows it's a capable car.
Yeah.
So I believe that it was just a more sensible thing to do because that car had a fresh engine, and it also had very nice fresh livery. The car was. I mean, the car looks pretty.
Yeah. I think the S15 is a lot prettier though.
Well, of course. I mean, it's like newer, but I really like I really like that livery. I thought it was gonna be just a show car. No, not a show car, a demo car from now on. But it made a debut at a Formula Drift, and it did good.
Yeah, he qualified well. And then he went up against Odie in 16 and beat Odie. Did you happen to see?
No.
It's a bummer to see Odie going out.
So he went out on top 16, huh?
And then Wang went up against Mr. Fields, and we know who had a field day. Do you think this is Wang's last season?
I believe so.
After he retired early on.
Well, from what we talked to him a while ago, he said that he was already contemplating not doing another year. It just didn't seem financially reasonable for him.
Yeah.
Remember, like his shop pretty much became a shop for his program. Like he wasn't taking customers at all. So that, like he had a big rig,
little rig, medium rig.
yeah, and then doesn't have a lot of income now. I think he was just relying on selling parts and stuff like that. So I mean, I can understand why.
Well, I mean, he just didn't. Well, I mean, people like Matt Field didn't have income, but like he just didn't want to live maybe the racer lifestyle, the clawing for cash.
I personally, dude, I have mad respect for Forrest, but I personally think that he's more of a
indoor cat.
no, more of a the kind of driver that goes to the bashes and likes to have fun.
Bashes, is that like the competitor for Albertsons?
Yes, Bashes, the supermarket.
Yeah.
But I mean, he left on Saturday after the competition. He left early because he went straight to D1, D1 to Super D.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like he had a great time with all the other drivers. Matt Powers was there as well, and Nakamura was there as well.
It's a great Nakamura shirt.
Yeah, I love my new Nakamura shirt. Everybody can see it on the video. Let me show it.
Yeah, it looks like it's weird that he's driving a 370Z. I don't really recognize that guy though on your
right
shirt.
Here in Japanese says Naoki and Nakamura.
Yeah, I don't recognize the guy in the shirt though, so I guess it could be him.
Anyways,
Then we had Odie went up against the Pat Goodboy Gooden in 32. Pat did not move on.
unfortunately,
I think that's mostly because he wanted a trophy from us.
he also won a trophy.
He wanted the trophy. What trophy did we give him?
Best top 21.
It's the best 21st place.
Best 21st place, yes.
Yep.
And he was super excited about it.
Yep.
You also going to be able to see that on the bonus content.
Which I want to preface by saying that the quality is bad, Paco. Let's be fair.
Don't worry.
I wasn't there for it. I couldn't yell at Paco to use a GoPro for a mic. It's the generators. Watch it only if you're an extreme fan.
Yeah, this is mostly like just like
Deep cuts.
Exactly. This is like the directors the director's cut of like just the leftover footage.
I was already back at the hotel editing Vaughn's shit, so I couldn't help out.
No, it's
unfortunately.
fine.
So then we had Matt Mofo Field. What does Mofo mean? I know we covered this in Driver Out Driver, but I don't remember.
I can't remember now. I don't want to say something crass.
Hey, don't be crass. Matt Field beat Kenneth Momo in top 32. K Momo's car caught on fire on Thursday night. That was fun. And then he got out and immediately tried to put it out with a third of a Coke can.
Cola. What's funny is like, I think it was an electric fire because I saw him driving into the pits and there was like a little bit of fire coming out of his taillight.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people was yelling, fire,
Yeah.
fire. But he just couldn't. He just kept going. By the time he got to his spot, like the whole
you
thing
can't
was-
hear anything unless your crew is yelling fire over your radio and you have a radio in your ear. You can't hear anything.
And he promptly got out of his car and grabbed the first red safety device that he could find in his car.
Yeah.
Not extinguisher, a red can of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, he got like a third of it out there, and then the fire obviously was unfazed, but fire crew was on it and took care of it. And then the last battle of 32, we had Osbo and Kearney, and from the Vaughn team perspective, we're like, we got to beat Osbo and we got to beat Forsberg. And we saw Osbo had Kearney. We're like, all right, Kearney's kind of a giant slayer too.
Yeah.
Kearney beat Vaughn in Seattle.
He can throw down.
And then, so look at Osbo's bracket. Osbo, I think, in many times over the years has had a very favorable bracket, as in battles that he was less pitched up against harder drivers. I think this event, he was against a very, very hard bracket. He had Dean Kearney in 32, which I think could have beat Osbo on a good day. Osbo versus Field. Obviously, Osbo went down there. If he would have beaten Field, he would have gone against Wang or Odie, which is tough as hell. And then he would have gone against Turk, which would have potentially been tough if Turk's car ran. So Osbo was in a pitch night no matter what, and Field ended up taking him out.
But that's how champions win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like look at our top 3. They went out on top 32,
Top 32,
top
and
16, and top 8. Osbo went top 8, right?
Nope, 16.
Oh, 16 as well?
32 and 2 16s. It
Okay,
was a very strange event. Yeah, so right away, right when Vaughn went out, I was like, all right, things are going to be weird this event, because now we have Mordaunt and Forsberg in top 16, and I don't know what it is about Forsberg, but in my opinion, as a viewer over the years, I think he used to have the reputation for a robot in consistency. And I don't know, I think maybe he's gotten more of an emotional driver over the years. I think he's a better driver now, don't get me wrong. But I think that he's less robotic and more of a passion driver, like passionate.
I think when you get older, you start becoming more passionate. And
I just mean that his lines are less, I don't want to say less boring. They're never boring. But he's driving more aggressively and he's driving less on rails and more wild.
it's more experimental.
Yeah,
kinda.
and by now almost. I was about to say, and it's not like he's more reckless, but I think maybe he is. Like he hit the wall. I think so. To talk about Forsberg's wall hit, he was going up against Mordaunt in 16, and Mordaunt slowed down. I think in a slowing zone, or
He slowed down when apparently he was allowed to.
yes, but I think it was more than he was
Forsberg
expecting.
predicted. Yeah, expected, yeah.
So you couldn't give fault to Mordaunt necessarily. It's not like I don't think he sandbagged by any means. And Forsberg, as a chase driver, should have reacted by the rule book differently, but ended up hitting the wall and ruining his night.
But not his
But that's
championship.
this is multiple times now at Irwindale. I guess I shouldn't act like it's that surprising. I think most of the time your championship is riding on the abilities of someone else, unless you yourself are in it till the end at Irwindale to win. Like you're kind of relying on other drivers to win your championship for you.
It's not the most optimal way of winning, I guess. But
Yeah.
it is racing, and it is what it is.
Well, yeah, it's not like Matt Field gave him the championship. It was that
Yeah,
Forsberg
exactly.
Forsberg earned it up until
Nobody-
he was able to stop driving.
Nobody gave up for him.
Yeah,
You know,
and then-
like 'cause you can't say, "Oh well, he won because Matt Field was like, you know what, I'm gonna win."
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I'm gonna win for you. Like Matt does things for himself.
Yeah, and also you think about the slightest deviation in points throughout the year. So Forsberg got 6 second places. Was it 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, a lot of points. I think. Yeah.
Let's just say that one of those times he would have gotten 4th place instead of 2nd place.
That would've been it.
There wouldn't have been a contest here.
Yeah.
Osbo would have cleaned out the event.
Yep.
unless he went against Field. But then maybe,
Unless,
but maybe he would
Would
have.
have lost in top 32,
Yeah.
which happened to Vaughn.
So it's not like it was given to him. He
Yeah.
earned every second place he got. But as the first thing I said to him after he won and the picking up and the cheering, all that, I was like, buddy, you finally get the white dress. You're no longer wearing the bridesmaid dress. You're wearing the big white fluffy dress.
Yeah, but I really like this round because it just disproves all that stupid argument about like
the edible arrangement argument.
it's scripted and the edible arrangements
because the top dudes were all out.
Yeah, because I mean I saw all the edible arrangements that Forsberg gave to these guys, and they still deemed like they still gave the win to Pat.
Yeah, Mordaunt couldn't afford the biggest edible arrangement, but his was a fine choice. It had those Hershey's bars that were on sticks, so they're kind of like
tape.
flowers.
Yeah.
Like they're taped to sticks,
Yeah, I've seen them.
So that was a pretty good move by him. Also, I saw
Smart.
a couple bags of Skittles, which I know Andy Yen is fond
And this
of.
is Skittles, man.
Actually, no, he's more of a Reese's Pieces man. Lontaine is the Skittles man.
Oh, Lantain, man.
The lawnmower
Skittles
man,
man.
Lontaine.
We'll find out what are those three guys up to for next year.
Yeah, so
We'll update you into what they want to make you win.
So we have some plans for the off season. We're going to keep on recording the show. It's not just going to end because of drifting. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the deep cuts. So
We'll also there's a lot of other events happening that we'll try to cover. I mean, we have Formula Drift Japan next weekend.
Right. So we're going to keep covering events, of course. U.S. Formula Drift has always been our home event, but in the meantime, we're going to cover other events, and we're going to talk to a bunch of teams, team managers, team leaders, head techs,
event organizers.
Yeah, and like when I talk to John Hohoyanga, who runs Turk's program and throws all his nitrous on the Turk car and the anti-lags and all that stuff.
Is that Nameless?
Yep, Nameless.
Nameless Performance.
I want to talk to B-Dubs, Brian Wilkerson, the one that's been running.
Yeah.
When I say running, I mean he's the main car,
the main guy,
builder guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just so many dudes that are behind the scenes that are not the drivers that we should really talk to.
They rarely get the spotlight, but they deserve it.
And that's usually the best info for a lot of our fans of the show that are young drivers that want to know how to build cars.
I hope we can talk to Stefan Mom and Daddy Kisses.
Yeah. Well, Stephen Papa Mama Kisses is definitely going to be high on our list of people to talk to because he built Osbo's car. He built
the Golden
Castro's.
Child. No.
He did build Castro's.
Yeah, Castro's and also the Volkswagen Passat.
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
T-Faufau.
T-Faufau's Passat.
Yeah, we want to talk to all of them. So we haven't talked to Andy Yen, the most beloved judge of all.
It's our favorite judge.
Has anyone ever talked to... So Ryan Sage seems to be kind of the face of the partnership of
but there's also
Formula Drift. But there is also...
what's his name?
I can't even think of his name. The other founder,
God.
the co-founder.
Yeah. I'm blackout. I'm blaming it because I'm sick.
You're blackout sick.
I'm just like I can't remember.
If only there was someone who knows
straight us up.
Who knows the deepest, darkest facts of Formula Drift that could tell us?
I don't know. I don't think there's nobody smart enough in Formula Drift.
Because I think it's probably one of the most unknown.
Well, maybe your wishes are...
When you wish upon... Hey, oh God, I hope this is someone that knows a lot of facts about Formula Drift because we cannot remember who the co-founder is with Ryan Sage.
That's a tough one. I don't know if I can help you out there.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
Thanks for calling. Anyways.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
So, who is it?
Oh, hi. Just calling in. I think I have your answer.
Oh, great. Thank you, caller. Yeah, for the grand prize of one Formula Drift championship, who is the co-founder of Formula Drift?
Who is not Ryan Sage.
Who is not Ryan Sage.
Who is Jim Lau?
Jim Lau. That is correct. Congratulations.
Ding, 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 ding.
You've won one Formula Drift championship, making it your...
Oh my God, it's so great.
Yeah,
wow.
and a lanyard.
And a lanyard.
Man.
You get a lanyard, too.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Man, more people should play this game. It seems pretty easy.
Yeah, it seems pretty easy to win Formula the Drift Championships these days. It's like they're handing them out.
They're
Hell,
just giving them away.
Yeah, they just hand them out. I can't believe you guys have only had 2 callers on that question. It's crazy.
yeah. You've got 3 of them now. Do you just you store them like in the dumpster out front of your house at this point? Like, not that big of a deal.
Is carbon fiber? Yeah. Is carbon fiber something you can like melt down into?
Paco, I'm gonna stop you right there. The championship trophies. These are not made out of carbon fiber. These show the weight of the year on the drivers, and this is my Jared impression, by the way, and the infinite sadness that drivers feel throughout the crushing season.
I'm sorry.
Yep, that's why it's the actual cup, so you can continue to cry into it about how hard and how long the road was to get there.
Yep.
No, but it's awesome. I'm obviously beyond stoked, and we're all pumped, and it's been, I'm going to throw all those words out at you so you can use them up as you wish, but
stoked, pumped.
It's very difficult to put into words, and it's slowly settling in, what we accomplished over the year. Great, man. It's all good. But, I say that as I'm literally sitting in a lift on my way to the airport to fly to Australia for another event. So the road trip never ends.
So you're not taking a nice honeymoon vacation after winning the championship? You just don't fall asleep for a week?
Yeah, no. We get right back to it. We're at the track the days after the banquet, and moving and shuffling some stuff around today, and then a couple meetings real quick before I head out of town, and going down to Australia to drive the MCA Suspension 370Z in the Drift Challenge this weekend.
Nice.
So,
hell yeah,
so I'm psyched, man. It's good, man. This feels like a honeymoon to me because it's someone else's car. It's another country. It's going to be an awesome time. This is a drifting honeymoon.
Wow.
So, 2015, you didn't talk to Maximum Driftcast because we didn't exist, right?
Yeah, that's right.
2016, your championship winning year, if I recall, you've talked to us a lot.
A lot. So from what I've learned, points established is clearly a result by minutes spent on Maximum Driftcast.
Correct, because I think you've talked to us more than any other driver. So Matt Field has talked to us 3 times now. He won Irwindale.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to text.
He started to call you a lot, and then clearly that resulted in wins. So, it's just a clear fact.
So now that we're obviously in control of Formula Drift's results, I think we should do something interesting with these powers that we just got. We should
give them to Jun Meng. Have Jun Meng call the show every week.
I think he should. He deserves it.
Is he going to be the 2017 champion, Chris?
I mean, if your phone starts ringing, Jay Meng, you never know.
If the phone starts ringing, it's time to start winning. So,
there you go.
So we're not talking just completely bullshit the entire season. You've won 2 championships before. Has this one been harder fought, easier fought? What's the deal?
Well, it's funny because I wouldn't say that it's easier. It's obviously it feels more and more difficult every year, even though we bring the best program that we can to FD. It's obviously there's more drivers coming through, and the best drivers are the ones that stay, and people that are just like kind of struggling kind of lose their license or it's clearly the top of the field of drifting in the world, and so it is only getting more difficult. It's only getting crazier. However, I would say what feels easier is the stress levels. Like, you learn to manage them better, and when you can do that, you can succeed more. And so, not to say that it is easier, it clearly is not, but it may feel easier in the car, which is when you know that you are in sync with your car and ready to rip.
Yeah. So as I say, like, repetition is
so good. Great.
Right.
Good
So no, but repetition is in your case the key to all the wins you've gotten this year. And what I mean is you've had a very similar chassis, you've had a very similar setup that's worked for many years, and obviously there's a hardworking team behind all that, but you haven't changed a ton in the past 4-ish years.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we had the same chassis, same engine program over the past 6 years now, since 2011.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, since 2011. We switched over to the 370Z with the core VK56 engine, and yeah, it's a proven platform. I'm still surprised I don't see more 370Zs out there on the track, but it's a fast car. It's amazing, and we have a great engine package that goes along with it that was very, very reliable, and that is obviously a key component to doing well. So
I asked Chelsea about that.
We might not have the most power. Yeah, we might not have the most power out there, but we keep it running.
Chelsea Denofa said that engine programs don't matter. How do you feel about that?
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
They
don't matter as in they're easy
to
manage, or they don't matter as in you run whatever motor you want?
He's just like, they all work. I'll throw whatever engine in my car and I'll just get out there working, is what Chelsea said to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that
this is a joke, Chris. You don't need to give a proper explanation.
Well, see, Sam, your sarcasm is terrible, and that you're an idiot.
It's because Chelsea hasn't had a working car for 2 events.
Yeah, I get it now, but I was referencing that too, like, oh, he like switched to the V8 and to this and to that, and it's like trying to say that, like, oh, you don't need the same type of package. They all kind of work. So
no.
I don't know where you're going with these questions.
They don't work.
Sometimes, man.
And I
like, you think your sarcasm is good, but it's actually
it's bad
that you just take it seriously.
You are on maximum Driftcast, man.
Yeah, no, my humor is bad. Everything I do is pretty bad. I do kind of want to go into a dark corner and fall asleep for a couple of years. I shouldn't be on the show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chelsea. You try really hard. I'm sorry, June Meng. We keep on bringing you up. Chris, I'm not sorry because you are a dickhead and the biggest dick in drifting. Everyone knows that about you. With all the free beer.
Apologize to Chevy. You've been very mean.
With all the free beer you give out to random passerbyers after the events and all the free advice you give to anyone that emails you or messages you, I think that karma's paid off, bud. Maybe?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So, thanks, Sam.
You're welcome, Chris.
Question. I'm not sure if it's been addressed exactly by you, but so exactly what happened on your battle with Pat Mordaunt?
Yes.
So when I was about to run Pat, we get the word down through the spotters that they loosened the car up quite a bit because they were fighting some traction issues. Knowing that the temperatures are dropping, they wanted to make sure they weren't going to be too tight, and I guess they weren't making all the power that they usually make, is what it sounded like.
So you're spies? You have spies that watch Pat's team, and then they were relaying this information?
The relays came through lip reading and spies in the tower. I don't know if you noticed the 33rd spotter up there, but we got it all covered.
It's a guy in the trench coat and the glasses with a nose attached, right?
Yeah. So may I please throw the asterisk up and say that was sarcasm for all the people that are as bad as noticing it as me?
Just so you know, Chris Forsberg doesn't have a secret spotter listening to other teams that he's about to battle. But proceed.
But yeah, so no, because the spotters will sometimes talk if there may be an issue, and so like Scott relays down to me. He's like, they said the car's a little loose, so just be like aware. I'm like, all right, sounds good.
Don't go into a wall chasing him, Chris.
Yeah, don't drive through his car and crash into him.
And he's gone.
Well, that was nice.
That was nice talking to Chris.
Thank you, Chris. That's all we needed to know.
Got everything out we needed to. I guess we'll try to call him back. This is the Call Him Back Chris song. I'm going to keep on ringing till Chris picks up. I'm going to keep on ringing till Forsberg's here. It's going to ring. Hey.
Hello, you've reached Chris Forsberg and not available to get to my phone right now, so please leave a message and I will call you back. Thank you.
Interesting. Okay.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may...
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
This is Chris. Sorry.
How is this, Chris?
We were talking. Since we're talking about all this, spy stuff, I wanted to make sure I got on the bat phone, so I don't want I don't want anybody listening in on this.
You made sure you got on your burner phone, your Boost Mobile Nokia
flip phone.
Yeah, I saw 7-Eleven, so I figured I better hang up and call back in.
Yeah,
so.
No one will listen to this conversation. It's totally private between you, Paco, and myself. Because Corey's not here, by the way, because he's picking out next year's edible arrangements.
Yeah, he better start stocking up.
Yeah,
he's got a big trailer for that.
Yep.
But so long story short, we knew he was going to be a little loose. I did my lead run. We had a pretty nice gap on him, so it was one of those should be an advantage towards us, but keep it close. Don't fall back and get the chase. Redo.
And this guy just took out Vaughn through. Vaughn had a broken component in the third battle, but he 2-1 more timed Vaughn. So and we were talking about earlier in the show. Pat Mordaunt has beaten you a couple times.
Yeah. I threw it away against Pat in Long Beach last year, 2015. So we were coming through. I was on my lead run, and I transferred into the bridge wall, and the car just kind of snapped over a little too hard, and I ended up on the inside line, and that was it for me. So, that happens. You sometimes make mistakes, and Pat's a consistent driver, especially in that 350Z. So, you saw a lot of people taking themselves out around him this weekend. So when he's on point, locked down, he can keep it together, and you see a lot of guys messing up around him. So. We saw that with Vaughn. It was a mechanical failure, but it did happen still.
Yeah. Well, it only happened in the third battle. Like the first two, Mordaunt definitely drove like the Dickens, as they say. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just like the Dickens. So I've seen the Dickens drive, and he is good.
So,
but go on about the hit.
Yeah. So I gave him a little bit of a gap on the bank, knowing that we had a sizable run on him, and I didn't want to get too close and straighten out or anything stupid, because you kind of get trapped once you initiate. So gave him just a couple car lengths and about 2/3 through the bank, laid into it and got up right on the door, off the exit, through the start-finish inner clip 1, and as we transfer back to the left, you come through the smoke. You're blind for a half second.
Yeah.
You give you give the transfer and you toss into the lower bank with momentum, and his car was just able to skate a little bit more. I would have to throw my car a little harder because of the amount of grip that it had. And so when I did that, I threw as he was braking, I hit the accelerator on the transfer, and so I was just kind of at a closing rate at that point. You watch the video, he's kind of skating in, you see my brake lights flash on, 2, maybe 3 times. And, so I'm trying to slow the car down, coming in towards him. And right before, he picks up the throttle, my front wheel touches his rear wheel, which is always that clear, you're going for a ride now.
Yeah. Because the two tires make friction with each other, and then their competing directions screw with things.
Yep. So it pulls the wheel out of my hand real quick. I tried to get right back on it, but pulled the car straight when that happened, and I was just heading for that outside wall. Oof. So annoying for sure. I felt like we had that one, and you get in those little situations, and I've taken myself out in the last 5 events or whatever. You get to that point where you're feeling comfortable and everything's rock solid, and you just make one small mistake, and and your run is over. So that's the excitement of drifting, and it was kind of crazy to see all 3 championship contenders knock themselves out due to their own mistakes, all just going berserk out there.
Yeah.
So it was cool, So just seeing everyone trying not to just baby around the track and see what happens. Everybody was just going for it. And that's what we like to see at Irwindale, and that's what you always get.
Right. So real talk. Bro, is that how you say it? No, bro, whatever.
Bro to bro.
Do you think that, so you've been known as the robotic driver, which I've never agreed with. I don't think you've ever been a robot with your consistency, I think is where the term comes from, where you've kind of gotten that coin. But do you think that your emotions had a play in knocking yourself out here and the other rounds where you've gotten second place each time? It wasn't, you can admit obviously that a lot of these were driver error, but is it because there's now a fear or a stigma, or not now, but is there a fear or a stigma? Is there something going on mentally for you that is fucking you up?
I don't know if if I would say that, I mean, clearly I'm, like, well, it sounds like an easy answer to say, no, I don't think that's the case. But I do honestly think that, when you get that far down the ladder, like at every event, you basically see people just start slowly turning it up, like after every battle. Like every battle you win, like you get, a little more pumped and a little more, confidence for the next round. So, tracks like, Seattle were doing great runs. Canada were doing really great runs. And they were just like getting a little better every time. And so, yeah, by the time we get to the finals, we're just raring to go, and we're up against the best guy on the other side of the ladder. And, like you get in your head, like you gotta throw it down. You gotta go 100%. And, for me, like I'd rather, be going for it and make a small mistake than to be 3 car lengths back looking like a chump and losing because of that and not giving the fans a show.
Right.
Like we're going to dive in, we're going to go hard, and, we're going to drive clean, of course, as well, to give the best, battle and show that we can. And if I make a mistake, just overcooking it, then, that's my bad. But, I'm not just going to like take it back and baby through and see what happens. We're just going to go for it.
Yeah. Is this a issue that you've self-actualized and are attempting to work on, or is this kind of just what comes with being in the finals of drifting? Then it's just kind of what it is.
I mean, I think it just is what it is. Like we obviously can. I mean, I could say that I'm going to work on, focusing more and making sure that we stay in that zone always.
Doing Pilates.
But then again, if you don't just focus on the first place finish, not to just like change the direction of the thought process, but I mean, the results are incredible, what we've accomplished this year, and I'm truly proud of that, regardless of a win or not. In the end, let me say, sorry to interrupt, but in the end, obviously the first place at each event means dick, as we just proved this year, as you got 6 seconds, right? 4 seconds.
4 seconds, right. Sorry. So 6 podiums total. So being first place.
We podiumed 6 out of the 8 rounds.
Yeah. So it's just, at this point, it's just like a trend that I'm just addressing. But obviously, you won the championship. It wasn't a neck and neck thing, thanks to our little bud, Mr. Field. But Paco's got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, just kind of like mentioning, like we know you've been having quite some changes in your life recently. I don't know if that's something you have talked about publicly, but
well, yeah, I mean, it's not hidden news, but it's just something I'm not gonna like make like a PR about, obviously. Yeah. But we've obviously had a lot of success with our social media aspects and all the projects that we do. Sam, you may or may not know about that. Being on set with us till all hours of the night, making cool videos. But yes, sir. But yeah, so with the the recent success of all of our fun projects and videos that we've been doing, and the change of social media in the past 5 years, I've been finding myself having to travel to and from California much more often. So having lived here for 9 years, I very much know how awesome it is and how much work you can get done out here.
Yeah, and you're originally.
So I moved. Yeah, so I moved back. I lived out here. I actually moved myself out here in 2003 to pursue the dream of drifting, and this was before Formula D even existed, and it was the month before SEMA 2003 when Formula Drift was announced, and so it was just perfect timing, right place, right time. And I lived out here until 2011 when I had teamed up with MA Motorsports and moved back east for the ideas and the drive to have a little bit more traction with my dollar and my budget, going to the East Coast and working with some areas where we could save some money and put it towards our budget, to have a better program.
And that means working hands-on in your car, which you've done for years and years and years now.
Yeah, we're working with the team directly, trying to be at the shop as much as I can, helping out, and also getting in line with Englishtown the Club Loose guys, having good track time out there, having my 240, and just putting a lot of effort towards driving and having a place to go testing. And obviously the results show it was a great move. A little bit of a teething, process in the first year. It was a gnarly year trying to get everyone in line and in sync. But after that, 4 seasons in a row in the top 3 of the championship. And so it was obviously a great move. And what's funny is, like, as we talk about it, like, looking at that timeline and, like, when we decided to move back to California because of all the social media work, when I moved out to the East Coast, Turk was not even a show yet. Yeah. And Instagram had just been developed. So in those 5 years, you can see how
old
much
as fuck you are.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. But yeah, no, you can see just how much the direction of drifting has changed in that timeline. And so obviously, we try and do our very best to be at the forefront of, drifting and marketing and being available and doing these projects. And so seeing the ridiculous rapid growth of social media over the past couple of years, and now with the creation of Donut Media with Jacob Agajanian and James Kirkham and, all those guys, they're absolutely killing it over the past year. And, so I, decided a few months ago, I was like, I have to get back there. I have to get back to Southern California.
Nice.
So I can be, working with these guys and doing all these projects because, the timelines are just getting shorter and shorter. We're not doing these, like, huge webisodic series.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's becoming, minute-long Instagram videos once a week instead. So it's like there's just constant desire for more content. And so for us to be available daily is very important than to just fly in once a month. And we decided to do that, and everything has been moving forward and doing great. I actually just left that office 10 minutes ago.
And your wife, Mitch, saying, I fucking hate Baltimore and I want to move back to Southern California for the past 5 years had nothing to do with it?
Yeah, and so that obviously was a large part of it as well. Mitch has been an incredible supporter since day one, of us meeting and works on the program, runs, most of my program with me, just making sure that we keep on top of things, keep things in order, and is an amazing person that I would not be able to do this without, of course. And so,
well, I'm not blaming her. Winter in Maryland does suck in the past 2 drift garages.
You've experienced that. You've experienced that for sure, so But
I agree with her.
Yeah, I know. So we were like, we got to get back before winter comes again. But
I've heard that winter is coming too.
I keep hearing that, but it is October. We'll see if it happens.
It's still hot here in Phoenix.
Yeah, always hot here.
Yeah, I know. It's insane, always.
We actually. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So yeah, like obviously, to confirm what you were saying. Yes, my wife Michelle is from out here, and so we have a huge, friends and family network in this area as well. So it was, made sense on many different levels to move back out here for work and personal. And it's been great. We got a sweet spot, and looking forward to being around all these jokers all the time.
Little jokers. So we have a special guest host. Corey Hosford's in the house. Corey, what's up, man? Do you have any questions for Chris?
Hey, guys. Thanks for inviting me out.
First-time host, first-time listener. Corey, what do you have for Chris?
How many shoes do you wear?
How many what? I can't hear you. You're calling in a call.
I was holding the phone. Corey asked, how many shoes do you wear?
How many shoes do I wear? Well, I wear one pair at a time.
Thanks, Chris.
Wow. What is that? So two's a pair? Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm doing my best over here.
Thanks.
You're giving me terrible jokes.
Thanks, guest host Corey. And he's going to leave the building for the night, and that's all he has to say. So in the meantime, we have questions from some Instagrammers. You have to go pretty soon, right? You're in the airport. You got to fly to Australia.
I'm at the airport. I'm kind of staying outside the checkout area, waiting to go drop my bags and everything. But we can fire this up a bit.
How long is that flight, by the way? How long is that flight?
I don't know. Somewhere between 10 and 15 hours.
Nothing.
Pop some Ambien and Xannies and take a 5-minute nap.
Some Z-bombs and some. Then Paco, you can attest to this, right? If you put a vodka-soaked tampon in your bum, that helps you get through it, right?
It gets you through sickness.
Get through the day.
Yeah, through the day. We call that Tuesday.
Hey,
every Tuesday.
all right. Some grammar questions. We've got Mawa Gun Racer has said, Chris Forsberg, what was going through your mind when you found out your championship hopes rested on Matt Field?
Yeah. It was, no, like for real. Obviously, when we saw the ladder drop, even the day before, we look at everything. So first thing we see, we're like, cool. We see Vaughn in top 16. That's going to be a great thing right there. And then we look at the other side. We're like, okay, so Osbo's all the way on the other side. If we see him, it's a done deal already. But so who can stop him? Before us.
Yeah, and I was saying a second ago before you're on the show that I think that we've agreed over the years that Osbo has gotten some pretty easy fucking ladders. Let's be fair. and then this event, however, he had Kearney in 32, who's a Giant Slayer potentially. He then had Field, who is obviously on point. He then would have had Odie or Wang, and so he had a stacked. He must have felt at least a little bit okay looking at his ladder, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not that you can't beat them all, but
yes, of course. To say that I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. So, it was definitely going to be a hard fought battle. Kearney has these moments of brilliance where he takes down huge competitors and is fast as hell in that Viper. And this was a throttle style track, so I felt like he could do it. And he was pressing on him so hard around the bank, and just had that error, and we're like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens now. And then, so after that, of course, him lined up with Field, and Field seemed like he was on one that weekend. He had it all wound up and ready to go, and I had a good feeling that he was going to take him out because we all know when Field gets hot to trot about himself, he can lay it down.
Well, I think he obviously is a very good driver, and when he doesn't fuck up, he's a killer. And I think after winning the battle against Osbo, I personally felt like there's nothing stopping this dude. Like he was going to make it to the top because at that point, like you mentioned earlier in the show here, just the energy you get from advancing on is definitely a factor in your performance throughout the night. And imagine the energy for one, deciding the championship, and two, at this point, like the event is yours. Like, the season is over, but now it's just your deal.
Yeah, no, of course, and that's what I'm saying. Like as the ladder drops and you start knocking people out, like you just get pumped up. And so him taking out Osbo, I had a feeling he could do it. His car was fast, it was hooked up. He was looking great all weekend. We obviously, as competitors, we keep an eye on everyone out there, and we have notes on who's looking good. And Field was on our list, and so we're like, all right, so just when we saw them lined up, we're like, okay, that could happen. So. And like I said, it was crazy to see all the contenders just kind of going out the way that we did.
Yeah.
So Osbo just knowing in his head that Field was fast and he had to be all over him because he was going to do that to him, and so he went forward and bumped into him, pushed him through the last turn, and that was it.
And I don't want to speak for you, but when the second half of that battle started and fault was given to Osbo for that bump, you were just thinking, don't fuck this up for me, Field.
In lack of better words, yes. I mean, like I said, obviously we all want to go out there and just win it on our own. We don't want to sit there and watch and hope and wish and this, that, and the other. But obviously seeing what happens, we're like, oh my god, Field just has to get through the track. It's just gotta stay close and not mess up.
But he didn't just he didn't phone it in. He actually did an honest, hardcore follow, which I love him for.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. It wasn't just okay, stay back and take the run. That's what I'm saying. Where these you have to throw down, and especially Irwindale. Even though you're in a championship contention spot, you can't just go idling by because these other guys are trying to put an exclamation point on the end of their season. So they're just going for it no matter what, check his records mentality. So you have to push in, and try and be on these dudes' doors, even in top 16.
Well, I have another question on the Instagrams. It seems like kind of a technical question, so you might like it. It's from Hot and Bearing Drift. And he says, Chris Forsberg, in the interest of adding more forward bite, have you ever considered adding electric torque vectoring motors to your front wheels?
What the fuck does that mean?
No.
Is that like a
Because
curse system?
We're not allowed.
No, okay, not allowed. That's a fair enough answer.
Is that
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit more for us who don't know what torque vectoring motors are?
I don't think anybody knows what that is.
I would imagine some kind of traction system for the front wheels, right? Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah, to pull the front end of your van around.
Yeah, I'm sure to get to work with the angle kit too would be awesome.
So we have one.
What else do you guys got?
We got Z Robertson 91 saying, Chris, when will Nissan think you do enough for the brand to give you a GTR for either street or drift use?
I do love the GTRs. They're amazing. I've driven a couple stock and modified ones, and they're awesome. I love them.
As a drift car,
as a drift car, I've never drifted one, and I've seen it done. Obviously, it's been done well, and it's been done poorly around the world. But it's also for America. The Z is their like sports car chassis. It's not their supercar, quote unquote. And so for them, the Z is the better fit, and I also think that the Z is a better fit for drifting. So, but for personal use, as the commenter asked, I would obviously love to have one of those for the daily.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Nissan's been a great supporter of mine, literally since 2004. Like I met those guys, and it started with a headlight. They gave me a headlight after I broke one, and for a 21-year-old drifter trying to run FD in 2004, like a $500 HID headlight from a brand new car was a big thing. So
that's a cool story, though. Cool. Hold on, can we talk about that for a second? So your first deal with Nissan was that you got a free headlight, and you developed that into what your program is today, essentially.
Yeah, and again, now we've gotten countless, not to say countless, but we've gotten a couple chassis from them, throughout the years. And it started with, they used to be based out of Torrance, and I was working with Motorex at the time. And so they were, less than a mile away, like just right around the corner. And, a guy knew a guy that worked over there, and he was like, yeah, they have like a couple cars like out back, like cars that were wrecked, media cars, like stuff from videos or commercials or whatever, even crash tests. But there's just a couple cars out there, and so they're like, let's come on by and meet this, the one of the motorsports guys, and we can pull some parts off the car. And so I went and I pulled a headlight, and I think like maybe a kind of messed up rear bumper, and that was kind of the start of it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you don't actually need a GTR because your daily driver is a Nissan Juke on 22s. And
that's right.
Controversial,
and dog.
Yeah,
but
you still run spinners, even though it's kind of been proven that that's outdated, very limited style. But what drove you to still run spinners on your Nissan Juke with 22s?
Well, once I realized that they just keep on spinning, I just could never take them off.
And is it also true that your Whistler goes woo woo, or is it not much of a woo woo Whistler?
I mean, I had to get the whistle tips, especially when you have four of them back there. You can get the serious woo going.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, they might as well just be up making breakfast, but I'm out there just whistling.
Yeah.
Well, how about it's a question that we already asked to Matt Field, but I think it could be work for you as well. Comes from username Jeff Jones Racing 6969. And he's asking, which other Formula Drift car would you want to hop on, either for fun or you think would be competitive? So I guess like something that's not a Z. What would you be driving?
Like
if you could pick another competitor's car, which one would you drive?
Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's rephrase to Paco or to Corey's.
Let's
I was
rephrase
going
to Jeff
to say,
Jones.
they kind of went both ways. So what other person's car would I want to drive?
Let's do that first. What other car existing in the 2016 would you rather be driving? Not rather, but would you drive if you couldn't drive yours? If we're doing a white elephant exchange.
If we're going out to party. Christoph's car.
Christoph's car.
Actually, yeah. It's the HGK builds amazing cars, and I was actually sitting in it at Pro Bro Down. I was supposed to take it out, and I moved forward, and the front suspension fell off. So,
damn Latvian engineers.
There. But no, it's like something that just worked itself loose during the event, and we're just out having fun, so we're not like nutting and bolting our cars, and so.
Oh, we know about that.
Yeah, I know. So we had to. They had to jack it up and fix that, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna worry about this. So but I was gonna take it out for a lap, and it would have been super fun. But I love the work that those guys do.
This one is from Black Santa 420, and he says, "What's going to be in your edible arrangement for the judges for 2017?"
What do I have in line? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so obviously we all know how it goes. To win championships, it's all dependent upon the size of the edible size and contents of the edible arrangement you give to the judges in Long Beach for each season, and they line up the arrangements in order of their preference, and that's how they decide the placement for the year, because we all know that Formula the Drift is rigged. So, what is going to be in your edible arrangement to appease each of the three judges?
I mean, if I told you guys that, then I might not win the championship next year.
All right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, don't share the secret.
Oh man!
I will say this though.
This
that
year.
I've realized, like all these guys make this mistake. It's ridiculous, but it's the quality of your edible arrangement, not the quantity.
Right.
I see these huge baskets coming through and these big ribbons on them, and multiple ones like baskets inside of baskets. Trying to get the full exhibit routine, but it's not the way to go.
They're full of fruit.
Well, no,
gotta go straight to the point.
Well, Ryan Lontaine's part gerbil, so he likes fruit. But we've discussed multiple times on the show that Andy Yen likes cat food, right? So if you want to,
9 lives.
I hate to give out this many
feast.
tips to the guys for 2017, but some quick stuff to think about. Well, Chris, looks like we covered everything there is to talk to you about. But you obviously have a busy off season. Anything you want to share about 2017, or are you just chilling in the moment for now?
We're obviously looking forward to big things. We obviously had a successful season, and we see that we have obviously some changes in the future. MA Motorsports has been a great team of mine, and they've worked with us, for the past 5 years, and we had an amazing run with them and have one of the most successful drifting partnerships. But they, are looking to put more effort towards their shop, and I'm really looking forward to that. They're amazing dudes, and we are going to be working with another team next year that's undisclosed at this time. We're still getting everything lined up and sorted, but obviously the bros are going to be focusing on getting some of their parts and other things going for MA Motorsports, and we wish them all the best. They're awesome dudes. We killed it. We won 2 championships together, and they're still great friends of mine. And so, like I said, wish them all the best, and we'll still be partying with them when I go out to Club Loose on the East Coast.
Well, that's not that big of news, so I guess we'll shut down the show. No, that's huge news. And
can we guess?
Can we guess? No.
No?
Yeah.
No, because you have some. I'm sure you've heard some things in the pits. We have no idea, and thank you for sharing that info with us. That's a pretty big deal. But obviously, you have got 2 championships.
So what is it going to be like working with Forrest Wang next year?
Yeah, he's definitely looking to pick up some teammates after Alec Conadale had such a shitty year.
Yeah.
He said that he's fired. He's looking for some new up and comers.
Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to get someone that drives a little harder.
Yeah. Force Wang coming back. Awesome, dude. Well, yeah. Good luck with your program, and we'll see you soon, man.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Everything's great, and like I said, we ended on the perfect note, and so it's I'm very happy for them, and we're happy to see the progression that we all were able to do together, and I'm looking forward to what they're able to do when they apply themselves to the shop full time. So that's great. Racing obviously takes a huge load of time and effort and energy throughout the year, and it's an incredible effort to go racing. We obviously know that this isn't all just for fun and for money. It's it's crazy. It's hard work, and so it takes a lot of energy. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Everything's moving forward, up and for the better.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, man. We'll have a safe flight to the place where The Hobbit was filmed, Australia.
That's right. Yes, Mad Mike's there, right?
Mad Mike, and he's
actually I joke because he's actually going to be on my flight.
Mad Mike is on your flight to Australia. Is he competing in the
same?
Nice. Well, you and Mike.
No, because I heard he lives there, right? Because that's where he lives.
He's Australian.
Chris, I don't get the joke. Could you?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, no one's ever going to get your sense of
you
humor.
would get it.
But at least you're good at drifting. You let me handle the jokes, pal.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, I gotta check in, or I'm gonna miss my flight. So.
All right, man. Thanks for talking to us.
See y'all later.
Congratulations!
Congratulations, bud.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.
There you go. Well, off he goes.
Off into
To
the
Untamed.
Yeah. We should stay on the phone with him for another 2 minutes, like we did last time. No, he hung up. So
very interesting.
Full disclosure, I knew about the separation from MA a little bit earlier, and I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to talk about this? And let me preface this by saying none of this is animosity, none of this has to do with anything bad from what I understand, but it's, they've been an awesome team, but they're just doing new things. But yeah, I asked earlier via text messages, like, hey, do you want to talk about this? And he's like, no, don't bring it up. And then he just did.
That's awesome, bro.
He realized that we are the breaking news outlet, that all the drift world comes to get their breaking factual news. Corey, what breaking factual news do you have that you were gone for an hour? Do you want to talk about it? Chris just broke some big stuff.
Chris broke some wind. He broke some big wind on us.
Yeah, what's your wind?
I don't have any wind right now.
You want to talk about it?
Nope.
Okay, good. Corey's doesn't want to talk about it. Oh, I don't know if you heard me. I said that you lost a Instagram follower and you're pretty peeved, right?
I almost just jumped off your balcony.
What was their name?
Stevie44.
Stevie44. Follow him back.
What a dick.
He's all broken up in pieces.
I think he doesn't want him back anymore. I was like, man,
it's tough, man.
Over it.
I've heard
when you lose people like that, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. So come back to us, Stevie.
Stevie44.
I'll follow you, Corey.
All right, thanks.
I already unfollowed you while we're talking.
Awesome.
There you go.
Cool. Well, we are going to wrap up the show as we have wrapped up the Form the Drift 2017 season. But as I mentioned, you weren't here, Corey. The show shall go on. We're going to talk to teams. We're going to talk to some dreams. We're going to talk to some steam engines.
And creams.
Cream
engines.
Also, we're going to start doing product reviews.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So actually, I was
sold out already?
No, this is not sold out. This is called a product review. I was reached out to by this company, Noco, and they make some battery, some car chargers, some jump starters.
Let me see that thing.
So what we're gonna do? They sent us a couple of them. We're gonna play with them for the next week, and we're gonna talk about them the following week. But we're gonna review some stuff, and it could be some serious products like this. Maybe it could be a review of something really, really dumb or bad that you want to send us.
Like a shitty soda. Oops.
Well, it could be any sort of soda. But maybe it could be a pair of...
it's kind of an inside joke. Like, they'll get it.
More or less what we'd like you to do is to essentially maybe think about something really terrible you want us to send to us and review. It doesn't need to cost money. If you want us to review something, then let us know, and we'll give you an address. And God, I shudder to think. I shudder to think what some of you are capable of.
Without the return such thing, right?
I mean, maybe they could ask for it to be returned. Like, don't send us your dog or something. Like, I would like to review.
I like a puppy.
Preferably, it's something loosely automotive, but
hats. We're good at reviewing hats.
Yeah, free hats.
This one has a snap
and gloves.
Snaps.
Anyways,
equipment.
Yeah, we're gonna check out some products. We're gonna do some other fun stuff for the off season. Stay tuned. Thank you for being with us this whole 30. We're on 35.
We just hit 100,000 downloads.
Yeah, I was leading up to that. I was going to build a little more fanfare, but that's fine. Corey, we'll just say it again.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Corey
I've been a part of a few of the episodes, and just found out we hit 100,000 plus downloads as of today.
Good timing too, at the end of the FD season. And
this is even before releasing the release of these episodes. So.
One season down, 100,000 downloads. We have,
and that's just the audio version. That's without taking account the video portion.
So I guess it's time to quit.
Yeah.
Farewell.
We'll be back next week.
Farewell. Should we do the end? Corey, remember the end of the season, the end of the FD season song that we rehearsed?
Yeah.
And Paco, I remember you were playing
The
mouth
bass
drums
flute.
for it.
The what,
No,
sir?
that's right. You were playing the. No, we should do it.
Yeah.
I
You were-
can't
you were
play
playing-
anything right now because I'll just infect
No.
it with
We already
viruses.
practiced. We've been rehearsing for months
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
You played you played that nice down tempo drum beat with your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Corey and I sang.
Yep. You go ahead. You started
It was-
off. Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
you started off and I
This
jumped in.
is the end of the season
Yeah.
from the drift song, right?
Yep.
I think it was a little bit slower, a little bit nicer. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The season is over.
This season has came and gone.
Where did it came?
Keep going,
Keep
Paco.
going,
Come on.
keep
You
going.
fucking
We've
forgot
rehearsed
the
this. We've rehearsed this.
song.
We hope you have enjoyed our show.
And scene.
The end.